Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to look at ratios and rates. You're going to want to have around you your notebook, a writing utensil, and then also your calculator today. Your learning goals for this particular video: I can find a ratio of two quantities, and I can find a unit rate. So first we got to talk about some vocabulary. Ratio you've probably heard before. Basically a ratio is comparing two numbers by division. And you can write ratios in three different ways. You can write A over B, A colon B, or A to B. You'll see it all three ways in any kind of textbook. It's basically there's three different ways to write it. A rate is a ratio that compares quantities measured in different units. So that would be like $25 for two shirts. A unit rate, though, is a rate with a denominator of 1 unit. So that would be figuring out how much money is it for just one shirt. Okay, so we'll take a look at those. Here's the first problem. I need to find the following ratios. I need to find stars to squares. So very first thing, I got to figure out how many stars there are and how many squares there are. So I'm going to count my stars. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 stars. How many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 squares. So I have 5 over 11. I'm going to leave it like that because it doesn't simplify down. Let's see this one. Squares to circles. So I have 11 squares, right? We just counted that. Circles is 2. So I have 11 over 2. Now you're going to leave these as fractions because you're not going to write decimals for a ratio. Stars to circles. Well, I have 5 stars and 2 circles. So notice how I'm putting the top over the bottom. So first over second. Okay? Circles to stars. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's the same answer. It's actually not. Because circles is 2 and stars is 5, right? I have 2 circles, 5 stars. Notice how they are reciprocals of one another. They're flipped because I'm flipping the ratio around. What about stars to all figures? Well, there is 5 stars, right? How many figures in all, though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in all. So I have 5 over 18. That doesn't simplify down at all, so I can leave it. Squares, we knew that there's 11 squares. And I will divide by 18. Alright, so let's take a look at the second problem. So there are 30 students in a class, including 16 boys. Write each ratio. So I need to go girls to boys. Girls. I don't know how many girls there are. But if there's 30 students in a class, and there's 16 boys, 30 minus 16, there's got to be 14 girls in this class, right? So let's go 14 girls to 16 boys. Now, that simplifies down. Always make sure you please simplify your fractions. So 14 divided by 2 is 7, 8. So 7 over 8. So 7 girls to 8 boys in this class. Same thing, boys to girls. Notice how that's flipped. So I'm just going to flip that around to 8 over 7. Girls to all students. Well, I know there's 14 girls and to 30 students. So I'm going to go 14 over 30. 7 over 15 must be my final answer. Then boys to students. So there's 16 boys, 30 students in all. Looks like I need to divide by 2. So I'll have 8 over 15 for my final answer. Alright? Let's take a look at problem 3. This is dealing with rates and finding a unit rate. You are shopping for t-shirts. Which store offers the best deal? Now, your mom and parents probably do this a lot. They probably find the unit rate of something. That makes you allowed to know if you're getting the best deal. You're getting the best bang for your buck, let's say. So I know store A has $25 for 2 shirts. Store B is $45 for 4. And C is 30 for 3. So I don't know what's the best deal right now. So let's figure out how much it is per shirt. So if I'm paying $25 for 2 shirts, Well, if I divide that, I'll find how much I'm paying per shirt, right? So if I divide that, I get $12.50 per shirt. Okay, let's try this one. Let's see about store B. So I'm going to go $45 for 4 shirts. So if I divide that away, so I figure out how much it is per shirt, I get $11.25, right? So if I would multiply 4 by 11.25, I'd get 45 back, right? What about store C? I have $30, excuse me, for 3 shirts. So if I divide that, I'll get $10 per shirt. So now I'm going to look here. Which one was the best deal? Store C, because I'm only paying $10 a shirt. So I'm going to go to store C instead of store A and B. Let's look at the last problem for today. Trisha ran 10 kilometers in 2.5 hours, Jason ran 7.5 kilometers in 2 hours, and Olga ran 9.5 kilometers in 2.25 hours. Who had the fastest average speed? So we need to figure out their unit rate, right? How much are they running per hour? So I'm going to label Trisha, Jason, and Olga. So Trisha ran 10 kilometers in 2.5 hours. So what did she run? Let's divide that. I get 4 kilometers per hour. Okay, that's how fast she's running, which is a pretty good speed. Let's see about Jason. 7.5 kilometers in 2 hours. So he ran a distance per hour at 375 kilometers per hour. There we go. Put that random line there. There we go. Alright, now let's find about Olga. She ran 9.5 kilometers in 2.25 hours. So how much did she run per hour? Well, if you would divide that on your calculator quick, you'd get 4.2 repeating kilometers per hour. So let's take a look. Who has the fastest average speed, aka who's running fast? So 4 kilometers, 3.75, 4.2. It looks like Olga wins. And that's the end of this video. See you later, Sabers.